Hello, hello, hello. It's Mary Kay Smooth here. Well, it was a crazy day at school today, but the Westminster was today and the Sharpays went today, and it brought back a bunch of memories of my De Niro. I had a dog named Robert De Niro Johnson, and he he's Nellie's litter mate. You hear me talk about Nellie? He was one of Nellie's litter mates. And Westminster, we did Westminster 4 times, I think. The first time, De Niro was only 9 months old. So and that is De Niro laying in the middle of the aisle. At Westminster, they want the spectators to be able to see the dog, all the dogs, all the different breeds, and be able to touch them and everything. And my De Niro was such a pioneer. He was like the mayor. Him and his father Magic, they loved people. So he started out standing in the middle, but at Westminster, you have to be there by like 11, and your dog can't leave till like 5. And he was only 9 months old. So De Niro, I mean, he was getting petted and petted, and I had a blankie for him to lay on. My dog really didn't. He didn't like cages, the kennels, but on occasion we didn't have a choice. But at Westminster, I took him straight out, and I had a blanket, and De Niro wouldn't lay on the blanket because he wanted to stand around and get petted. And oh, he's so cute. It was like he understood English. And when you said he's so cute, he would go into his thing. And so at this point, this picture, you see it here, he had gotten so tired. He was just laying in the middle, and we moved him on the blankie, and he would walk back and lay in the middle of the aisle so the people could not go by without saying, De Niro. And he loved it at Westminster and at the Philadelphia dog show, which is the one that's on Thanksgiving. So here, this picture was taken by the one of the professional photographers from the Associated Press, and they took a couple of others. And this picture, the lady from the Associated Press really loved De Niro, and she has that. Well, she had that at her desk, and over the years they would come back, just the same as I was interviewed by Mary Carrillo a couple of times because she liked De Niro, the name of De Niro and his mother and his father and the brothers. So I have a commercial of her as well. And then the guy from the MLB, he liked him. So this particular year here was De Niro was born in 2010. So my parents passed away in 2011. So De Niro was 9 months old when mommy passed, and daddy was still alive for another 6 months after that. So I sent a limo for daddy and them, and my friend Rosemary, you hear me talk about, she was worked with me at IBM, my secretary, and her husband, my dad, my cousin George, my friend Lori Arthur, and another friend, Carolyn Kelly Shabazz, who was a boxing promoter. So the story is crazy. Miss Carolyn didn't know what to wear, so she wore a mink jacket and a matching mink skirt. And so when I got them a limousine, because they wouldn't stay as long as I stayed, when they got to 8th Avenue, George got out. George is 6'4". He played for University of Houston when Elvin Hayes was playing, and John Wooden was coaching at UCLA, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was playing for UCLA, and they beat UCLA and snapped one of their big winning streaks. So George is like 6'4". He's a big guy. He gets out and he opens the door for Daddy, and when Daddy gets out, the people say, "It's Morgan Freeman." Girl, my father did not say, "No, I'm not Morgan Freeman," but he did not say, "No, yes, I am Morgan Freeman." And the people were just talking and talking and talking. So they're getting out, and they see Miss Carolyn get out with the mink on. Lori looks like she could be the daughter, and Rosemary and her husband look like they could be the friends, and George is the bodyguard. Jesus. They go in the garden. Everybody's whispering and stuff. And my father is getting a kick out of it. But my dad has the moles that Morgan Freeman has. He has the white hair combed back, and he has the deep, booming voice. So they're berserk. And so I go, I got De Niro. I take him up in the rafters to see my dad and them in this section they're in. And there's a man that's in charge of the section, the usher, and he says, "Look, you can't, I'm going to my break. You can't be here in like 8 minutes. I'll be back, and you can't be here." So I go up, and I know I can't stay. Lori Arthur is laughing her ass off. I'm like, "Lori, what's going on?" She whispers to me, "They think your father's Morgan Freeman." And I'm like, "Oh, shoot. Daddy is hamming it up. Oh, my God." So I'm up there with the dog, and one of the people says, "Mr. Freeman, is that your dog?" He says, "Yes." They said, "What's his name?" He says, "Robert De Niro." Everybody's laughing. You could see where this is going, right? So I go back down. Lori and George are just cracking up. My father is acting cool as a cucumber, but the people really think Daddy is Morgan Freeman in the garden. So I take De Niro back down, and it's time to go, and the whole damn section is going, "De Niro, De Niro," because they think De Niro's Morgan Freeman's dog at the garden at Westminster. So that's my first time my dog was in Westminster. Then my second time is here. He won a select dog, which was a big deal. So that's like 2 years later. Then he wins Best of Opposite Sex, which a girl won, and he was the best male. Boom. So this is my how I remember the Westminster, and since it was today, and then I got one more thing. I think I can bring it up. Yeah.
I'm here at the 2015 Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, and I want to go meet some dogs.
It's a Mexican dog.
Yeah? From Mexico?
Yeah.
From where in Mexico?
Mexico City.
He eats tacos in Mexico.
Does he really eat tacos? I eat tacos. Why are you powdering her?
Just to make the white whiter.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of good uses for baby powder, right? Does it?
It's actually cornstarch.
Okay.
And it just helps keep the hair nice and white and clean and all of that.
Is it hard to keep a dog this fluffy, clean in New York City right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Why not?
I don't want to insult
Yes,
your
it was.
city.
Oh, no,
it's
not insulting. I mean, I can't stay clean.
There's salt everywhere.
Yeah, there's salt and mud and like weird slushy.
But he has famous parents.
I'm moving it forward now.
He knows he's
that.
Why is his name Robert De Niro?
Well, in his litter, he was the one that always got all the milk. He was the gangster in the group. But he has famous parents. His mother is Susan Lucci, and his father is Magic Johnson.
The actual Susan Lucci and Magic Johnson?
No, the Sharpays.
Because that would have been big news if they had a dog baby. Yeah, you talking to me?
Yeah, see?
Yeah, he's got it. He's mugging for the microphone. I like it. Well, we met a lot of dogs today, and I will leave wishing I could have pet that extremely fluffy dog. My pick for Best in Show, as always, is Robert De Niro, the dog.
The dog. So I always had fun at Westminster. So that's my little flashback from the Westminster years. De Niro at 9 months, then at 2 years, then at 3 years. And he was in one more time after that, but I couldn't find the picture. So, yes. So Daddy was Morgan Freeman for a day. For a couple of hours, let's say. It was hysterical. I'm telling you, Lori and I still laugh about that because Daddy, like I said, he didn't tell him he was Morgan Freeman, but he didn't tell him he wasn't Morgan Freeman either. And yes, my father they do resemble each other because of the skin color, the moles, and the gray hair combed back. And the booming voice, the deep booming voice. So that always kept me laughing. And today I was thinking about Daddy because of the Westminster and De Niro, of course. And one day I was hoping that I would have puppies so I could show them. That's one of my dreams for me, one of my bucket lists for me to show one of my dogs at Westminster. I always paid I did not have confidence enough to go in the ring then. Can I do it now? Yeah. And I'm shouting out Marilyn Braunstein, another breeder dog, a Shar-Pei fanatic that got me to go in the ring, because if it wasn't for this one right here laying by my feet here, X, Maria would have never went into the ring. But I did, and I have. And if De Niro X has some puppies with Zuki, I'll probably take one in the ring. I want a big boy, but we'll see if I can get another one. So that was my flashback for the garden, guys. Um, Westminster is a fun show, and people that don't know about dog showing know you don't get paid for doing it. It is a fancy. And actually, I'm from Newark, New Jersey, as you know, and Newark, the Newark Kennel Club, if you look in the New York Times back issues, go on the web, you'll see that Newark Kennel Club had its, I think, third annual dog show in 1833. Newark's Kennel Club was in existence before even the AKC, and it later became the Kennel Club of Northern Jersey, which exists today. But I found out because in an antique store I found a medal from the Newark Kennel Club, and that made me start to investigate. And I found out that in my town, at that time, dog showing was a Jewish woman's fancy, and the prize in 1833 for best in show was $10. And so I laughed because I live in a portion of Newark that was a Jewish area. Bambergers lived on my street, and it was a lot of doctors that lived on my street. And that built this house was a doctor, a Jewish doctor. So I laugh and have fun with the dog thing because I showed Mayor James, the former mayor of Newark, lives across the street from me, and when I showed him my Newark medal, he tried to get me to give it to him, but I said, Mayor James, you don't even show dogs. I know you're the mayor, but I show dogs. So he said, okay, I'll let you keep it. I said, oh, thank you for letting me keep it. But I even found out where in town the shows were held and everything, and the building still exists in Newark. So history for the dogs. And some of the meetings actually that formed the AKC were held in Newark. So that's a real big piece of history for you. Um, and I'm proud. I'm proud of Newark for being that. For having that history in dogs. And I know that in Elizabeth, New Jersey, they tell me years ago they used to have dog shows at the Dunn Sports Arena, which is the high school, one of the high school locations in Elizabeth. So two times in my where I work and where I live, there was dog stuff. Um, 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 I'm trying to get all my stuff. Oh, you know what? I forgot the real thing. What am I here for, guys? Retinol. I'm going ahead of myself. That's because I was talking about that daggone Westminster. Y'all know I love that. And my De Niro was the bomb. He was a beautiful cream dilute. That's what they call the cream color with the white nose. Some of them have a black mask and some have a cream colored, the cream colored mask. And yes, De Niro's mother's name was Susan Lucci Johnson, and his father was named Magic Johnson. So I was getting the laughs. But Magic was my first show dog. Lucci never showed. She was like Zuki. She didn't like shows. She didn't like crowds. She did like people, which it's harder with Zuki because she's afraid. Lucci wasn't afraid. She just didn't like the barking of the dogs and the noise at a dog show, and it would make her shake and stuff. But Zuki is actually, I think she's a little gun shy of people, but she's getting better. She was with Tanisha and myself the other day when we were at the vets, and she did pretty good. She was trying to love on Tanisha a little bit. And when I took her to my vet, she was she was being good. I mean, she let us put her up on the stand and turn her on her side to do an ultrasound without shaking. So I was very proud of my little girl, Zuki. Okay, so now eyes. So you got my flashback of the Westminster. So Clint Livingston won today with Reddy, and that's a fine dog. There were a couple of really good dogs there. I mean, there was some Reddy, Smash. There was a couple of really good dogs there. A couple didn't show, but of the top ranked dogs. But like I said, Clint was there. Smash was there with Catherine Smoot. And so, yeah, uh, that's everything. Yeah. So today at work, let me tell you, I don't know, the park, okay. At most schools, parking is difficult. And in Elizabeth, there's a couple schools that have a underground parking lot. Those were built under them in the McGreevy administration. Excuse me. But there's schools where there's not enough parking. And actually the school where I'm at, there's a lot of parking, but there are a lot of teachers and aides at this school. So on occasion, it's a little tight. So today, like 3 people parked and blocked people in and didn't leave. Like, okay, if you're gonna block me in, leave a piece of paper on your on your windshield that says Maria Johnson. Here's my phone number. Call me and I'll move my car. We're so, we got testing, so you can't do loudspeaker bulletins. People were stuck trying to go to lunch. It was just ugly. It was ugly. Then kids with the phones being nasty to the security guard. It was not a good day. I mean, it was a good day for me, but it was just like berserk. And it's a student, the alarm, the fire alarm. And it was a special needs child, so there's nothing that you can do but roll with it. And that was during testing. So it had to, they had to get special they had to do a special something. I forget what you call it now offhand. And there you go, a day. But the Westminster thing was pretty cool for me. And it brought me back. So I shared that with you guys. And you see, I pulled up my pictures and my videos of the monster, De Niro. So X and his girlfriend, Zuki, are sitting here. She's licking his ear. Zuki, come here, mama. Come here. Hi, girl. Yeah, my Zuki, she's doing pretty good. We've been getting a checkup. We'll be going back again. But yeah. So there you go, guys. I'm gonna sign off now. Mary K. Smooth is signing off.